Hi. I'm here. One of these days I'll learn how to stick the landing. Oh, hi everybody. Been a while. It's been a lot of Auron things going on while I've been fiddling with other things. How are y'all doing? I'm so excited. I feel like we haven't done this in a while. Although I don't think it's been that long. But it feels like a lot has happened. Not like actually a whole lot, but Auron's video had a lot of things going on in it. So I'm sure we'll get a lot of questions about that. By the way, that's mostly what we're going to be doing. I don't have a whole lot of like anything special going on, so I will be answering your questions, drinking some water, maybe teasing some things, and stretching apparently. Oh man, happy Monday. Mochi, now is not the time. No, come on. No. Go that way. Here we go. So how are y'all doing? We're doing this on a Monday because I didn't record anything. I have a lot of things to record. A lot of fun things to record. I just have to go do it. Just Monday, because if it was happy, I'd be watching Challengers again. So I've watched it twice. For those who don't know, Challengers is the tennis movie. The gay tennis movie. I think that's what I'll call it. Mochi, stop causing problems. Anywho, great movie. So gay. So everything. It's a mess. It's a wonderful mess. It delights me in ways that I cannot express. That is the thing. That is the thing where I mention that there's a character that's sort of like Seth if I just kept him toxic. It's great. So yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Oh. So let's see. What can we talk about? I don't know if tennis is inherently gay, but if you watch Challengers, you may be led to believe that. Welcome, Erica. Happy to have you. And also happy to make you fall in love with Guzma. Man. What a time that was. What a time that was. Shout out to Thu, Purple, mods in the chat. I'm trying to think if there's anything like Mother's Day happened. Shout out to Thea for clipping the Jessie bits. There will be some other Jessie clips coming too. I meant to do them today as well, but they are evergreen So we will have a couple more Jesse posts. The cats are good. The cats are good. Mother's Day happened. My mom is going to be in town this weekend, so we'll get to have the Mother's Day again. We talked on the phone, but it was like, I'm not going to like go out of my way to send you stuff when you're going to be here and I can give you things in person. Yeah. Other than that, somebody's sneezing. Did you sneeze on him? That's nasty. Finn is mother coded. You know what? I will hold on. I got this. What about the Jesse meme about spreading cheeks to wash? I feel like I've forgotten something that was very unforgettable. Speaking of Finn. Oh, Derek spreading his cheeks to wash. Okay, it's starting to ring bells. So I've been in my Finn bag. And so fun fact, I don't know shit about flowers. It's all written ahead of time and studied ahead of time. So like if I, let's just say that I was Finn right now, I would not be able to answer your flower questions. And that's a shame because everyone associates that with Finn. So I have a gift that I got from Thu, what might have been like I almost said 2 weekends, 2 Christmases ago. The Complete Language of Flowers by S. Teresa Dietz. And fantastic book. It's lovely. And I have been doing homework. I've been doing a lot of homework. And yes, one of the issues is that if I'm going to be VTuber Finn, everybody and their brother is going to be like, talk about flowers. So I have a big book of flowers. And if you want flower facts, there will be ways you can redeem a spin of the wheel for me to go redeem a flower fact or something. So that is what I will do. And I've been studying for other things. I hate that everyone wants every Finn listener to have a flower nickname. That's not how that was supposed to work. But after a bit of thought, it works. So I've been doing research. I have a couple of great options for some options. So did I just say I have a couple of great options for some options? Jesus. Yeah. Anywho, options for options. I found a couple of. It's really hard to find like a nice gender neutral flower name. So I've got a couple ideas. I did not get to see the fucking Northern Lights. I think we're a little too south, unfortunately, which is a bummer because damn, that would have been great. Yeah, Sunflower's great, but there's a lot of Finns and a lot of listeners, and they can't all be Sunflower because people are going to get confused. And people are already confused, so giving them all names will help in that regard. Yeah. Did y'all see Did you guys see Jackie's Hades-inspired Faust art? That shit was dope. And I got to witness how she ended up doing that, which was literally like, I have an idea, I'm gonna draw it. And then she turned it into like a art study of how to do Hades style. Let me, hold on, I got it. She posted it on Twitter, but I can post the link to the tweet. Jackie. Take me to Jackie. Copy. Paste. Follow her while you're at it, if you are not already. Anywho, that was dope. Yeah, what else do we got? You guys wanna I'll give you a little teaser, I suppose. So if you have been collecting the Pocky enamel pins, the collection may be expanding. And I want to say it's done. I want to say it is complete. But there is one more pin that would make a whole lot of sense. And then, because I want it to be an even number, I probably need to come up with one more pin. So I could come up with a few more. I could come up with a couple more. There's always fins to draw upon, or like maybe a YuuriVoice Pocky pin, like my MeTuber, my Sona, which is just me but drawn cute. That would make it even. Well, we even went through the trouble of making sure that it's an even number of ones facing in either direction, and that them facing in a direction makes sense. So like you can pair them with boys looking at each other. Which I'm glad we were able to do that, because I didn't really consider that until this most recent batch we got done. So why does Yuri's PNG tuber look squishy? 1, PNG tubers aren't rigged like that. 2, because I'm squishy. I don't know what to tell you. Anywho, Pocky pins. One more round. Probably another round, TBH. But it's happening. What else? Well, I got good news. If I'm realizing that there's one more character that needs to be done, that probably means that every character was Pocky pinned. And the one that didn't get pinned but probably should have, probably, I need a joke about being in a wall. I can't think of a joke about being in a wall. It's Jack. Jack probably needs a pin. And I say that because the wait is almost over. The wait is almost over. Mochi, hey, no. Mochi, no. Mochi, no. Huh. Yeah, so that'll be fun. Yes, Mochi is my cat. One of my cats. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's take a look. Yeah, I have 10 cats. Let's see. Okay. Go on. Let's see. Sweetie Chica asked, do you plan on making more OCs or characters to voice in future videos? If so, got any ideas? Yeah, there are more characters. So the ones that are confirmed, I talked about Blacksmith Boy, who else have I talked about? See, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Blacksmith Boy, priest character, some others that I don't think I've mentioned. They won't all be voiced by me. Blacksmith will be. But for upcoming things, we will have some friends doing voices. It's so funny. Yeah, I think the priest has been mentioned for like 2 years. Like 2 years. So that's not new. It's just taken a while. Yeah. Well, things are getting large. So I need some folks. Starzo asks, is Auron ticklish? If so, do you ever get teased about it? I don't think he's ticklish. Everyone is gonna have some sort of ticklish spot. Or like out of the blue one day they just happen to be ticklish and then it's gone. But no, I don't believe he's ever been teased for being ticklish. Jelly Dude asks, do you like soup? If yes, what's your favorite? If not, then lie and make something up. What? Okay, I do like soup, but I also like the end of that question. My favorite soup. I like a good cheddar broccoli. I like a good like baked potato soup. I wouldn't say I have like a favorite. I don't think I have a favorite. I have soups that I won't eat. Like it, I mean, now I'm trying to think of a soup I wouldn't eat. Depends on if you consider a chowder a soup. I think I consider it a soup, in which case I do not like chowders of sorts. Eve asked, who's your favorite Yuri boy of them all? I don't have favorites, really. In a fight, who do you think would win? Charlie or Finn? No weapons, no magic, just straight up bare knuckle brawl. I think Charlie's a real pushover. People think that Finn is a pushover in the way that Charlie is a pushover, but Finn is not exactly like someone who would just not punch someone. Ocean Lou asked, are we going to get a new Auron video anytime soon, and is Shattered going to happen? When you say it that way, it sounds like you didn't just watch the most recent video. So go do your homework. But yes, it should be obvious that Shattered is happening. As for like any Auron coming soon, there might be a one shot or two before Shattered comes out, depending on how that timing works out. But like, Auron fans are going to be fed. So I would just wait. Name all your cats. Yes, I have Mochi, Momiji, Kuri, and Haru. Those are my cats. Why do Finn have freckles? Why do Finn have freckles? I don't think you can I don't think it's okay to ask why someone has freckles. I don't think you can just ask that. Drea asked, hey Yuri, is the P.O. box okay? The P.O. box. Your package got sent back to you. No, you didn't do it wrong. I haven't checked it in a million years, and they were probably mad at me. I need to go there and be like, hey, buddies. I still need to do that. I'm sorry. We will get that figured out. That stinks. I'm sorry. Kushina asked, what's your favorite sweet treat? And what's your P.O. box? Every time I try to see it, I can't see it at all. I don't have it copy pasted, but also let me fix the P.O. box first. And then I'll say something about it. Favorite sweet treat. I mean, that's difficult. I like, if you do like a fresh apple cobbler or a brownie with vanilla ice cream on top. But there's a lot. Like, I also like gummy candies. I also like a million other things. So it's tough to just pick one. Gamer Girl asks, what are the YuuriVoice boys' guilty pleasures? I would not be able to just come up with some guilty pleasures off the top of my head for however many boys there are. A different person, but I don't think it's a different person, asks, why does Finn has freckles in every single ASMR video? He's born that way. We can't. Do you think before every video he has to manually put them all on? He has to put his freckles on. Oh. Kushina also asked, any content on Jack? I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. I'm excited. And so we're coming up on Finn season. And I think it might also be a healthy amount of Jack sprinkled in throughout the season. That's all I can really say, but it'll be great. What else do we got? Glowing Runehelm says, hi Yuri, any tidbit you could share about Shattered and or Echoes? Lore, things you're excited for, dates? I definitely don't have any dates. So to put things into perspective a little bit, Jackie is in her character design era for the foreseeable future. She's got a lot of stuff she's got to cook up. And my hope is that, so let's just say end of next month-ish, I would love to have a shot list for her to be working on for things. Which means I have a lot of writing to do. I have a lot of voice acting to do. I have a lot of casting voices to do. I have a lot of other things to do. So that would be July. I don't want to. The next few months are really important, is what I would say. The next few months are going to be busy for me. So in the meantime, we're going to have one-shots and other fun stuff, and we're going to finish up the rest of the sleep aids, and I am hand-talking like a motherfucker today. We're going to have a lot of stuff that either needs to just be gotten out of the way, or rolled with for a bit. Alex W. has been a dreamer for 7 months. Thank you so much. With the message, you just gave me husband season, and now you're saying you're giving me a wifey season too? I owe you more money than God. Oh, I owe you more than my money. God damn. But also, I owe you more money than God is crazy. Yeah, because we've got VTuber Finn is showing up, and it'll be great. What else? As for any tidbits about Shattered or Echoes, I've had brain rot. I wrote an entire... There's something about Shattered that I've been on the fence about. And a few people have been like sniffing around, asking some questions about this actual particular aspect, which I've been like, maybe, maybe not. I see how I would do it. Does that make it too busy? I don't know. So I'm on the fence about a few things. I gotta get back under the hood and write some more and kind of feel things out. Because about 2 or 3 times I've been like, oh man, I know where this is going, and then it kind of didn't go that way. So we'll see. But I can tell you something about Echoes. Let's see. What tidbit do I want to give? What tidbit? I've talked about how it went from... Oh, I could tell you. So, there was a great quote. It was about, I believe it was about world building and how you can really start to get places just by thinking of like, hey, what holidays do they celebrate? Like, what is this world's like, what is a holiday for them? And that like unlocked some deep part of my mind that hadn't really considered that, and it immediately solved an issue. So I'll say this, at the start of Echoes, a lot of characters converge, and a lot of the times, especially in like ASMR roleplay, you can just be like, hey, yes, it's convenient, it's the plot. It's the plot. We're just trying to get to the plot. We're just trying to do this. Don't ask questions. Well, by creating a holiday, I was able to be like, oh, well, that explains why characters might be converging on a certain point or passing through a certain point. So, yeah. I haven't decided I can tell you this. Holiday is either going to be related to the sun or the moon. Because we've had a lot of, like, what is that called? Solar or celestial events. Celestial events is probably the right word. We've had a lot of those going on lately, and I was like, hey, you know what? I want one of those. And also, there's a lot of sun and moon theming throughout, so. I don't think it'll be an eclipse, though. I don't think it'll be an eclipse. Yeah. Pinkushu with the 8 months of Dreamer saying, wow, have any news you can share on Bones? I'm his future #1 fan. I do have information I can share about Bones. He's done. Ah, shit, I almost spilled my water, but the cap was on it. Bones, I have Bones. For those of you who don't know, Bones is a separate entity from YuuriVoice, but he is a YuuriVoice boy, who is a VTuber. And, yeah. I can tell you that I finally set up my Stream Deck, and it has all of my like VTuber things hotkeyed. I can't show this model doesn't have any things I can really do. But I can tell you that Bones has the most out of everybody that I have. He has, I could tell you he has 3 outfits. That's fun. Anywho, for those of you who are like totally confused, you'll know when the time is right. How do I feel about Auron being called baby girl? Well, I feel like he qualifies. He's baby girl. The way that people refer to certain fictional men as baby girl, he qualifies for sure. I mean, he goes from what he started as to where he's at now. Tell me that isn't baby girl. Nine months of Hex being welcome to Dreamer. Being a dreamer. That's what it was supposed to be, being a dreamer. But Hex says, anyways, I need Finn to be prepared for my unconditional love. And also, I can't wait to see the real Finn. It'll be great. But also, it's... all Finns are real Finn. But I know what you mean. I know it's complicated. Cherry asks, new Bittersweet episode coming out when? That's a great question. So, I think what I'm gonna do... So, I have all of these big things coming. And I think I will just have big chunks of Bittersweet that drop. I think, rather than be like, oh, it has to be done. I don't know. I can tell you for sure, like a few months, because there's something else going on in a month or 2 or 3. So there will at least be like a big ass episode. I can't say much else. Rin asks, I was wondering if the raccoon that Charlie and Casper adopted has a name. I know what its name is. It has not been named in storyline yet, but I know what the name's gonna be, and we should be doing... There should be some Charlie stuff soon. There should be some Charlie stuff soon. What else do we got? Brain Mattered asked, do any of your OCs have tattoos or want to have tattoos? Who has tattoos? So Jesse has a tattoo. Alphonse 1.0 had a tattoo. No one else has a Dilf Seth has a tattoo. And a bunch of them could have tattoos, but like putting them on visible parts of their body makes life difficult. Other than Alphonse, which YuuriVoice boy is most likely to dye their hair and which color? I mean, Faust probably would be most likely. Also, that's not true that half of them have dyed hair. I can't stand this part. So this has happened since like the Alphonse days. So I go by anime logic with my content. So like people see Auron's hair and are like, oh, does he dye his hair? And it's like, no, it's just like that. Or people see Faust's hair and they're like, did Faust do that? Or, you know, whatever. It's like, it's just their hair. So that happens. It was funny when Alphonse did it because I swore up and down that it was just his hair, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, what if his natural hair was black? So Ellabella asked, do you have a favorite flower? Mine's orchids. Yeah, I like what are you called? a terrible time to be a ADHD haver. Anywho, I do. Don't ask me what they're called right now. Let's see. What else? Siberian Gusky, which is a hilarious name. Asks, is the tower painting in flashback of Auron in the newest video the same tower painting from the Christmas party video? Yes. Also, yes, hydrangeas. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Figured it out. Hydrangeas are my favorite flower. Hyacinths are also cool. They're like long hydrangeas, TBH. What was I saying? Yes, tower painting. Yeah, it's the same one. So yes, the implication is that the painting that was over the mantle when he was a teen and there was a body is now in his office. Nikki Sibbs asked, did Faust even like his bio dad? I don't know. It's not really a question I can answer. Not because it's some sort of crazy lore secret, but like, it's gonna come up, right? Like, Glowing Runehelm says, if you can't answer because it's content for later, that's cool, but what exactly does Auron's mom do for work? Good question. So, I have some ideas. I have one really particular idea, but I don't know if I love it yet. So I have some ideas. I have considered what she might do for work. That's about it. Let's see. Another question about adding new characters. Yeah. The big thing, so like, people are gonna have characters that they really love in upcoming content that aren't voiced by me. So I've had to be like really particular about like, hey, I want this character because I'm gonna make spicy content with them, and I have a personal deep investment in them. And that's why like Blacksmith Boy is definitely gonna be voiced by me. I've wanted him for 4 years. I'm not gonna let anybody else have him. I want to voice him. I want to make content with him. And there's another new one that you guys don't know about who will also be me and will be reminiscent of an old friend. I will say that. A new original character who is reminiscent of an old friend. Let's see what else we got. Kushina says, I'm getting a black and white cat and he's so adorable. He has an A on top of his head and I was thinking of naming him Alphonse. You can absolutely name him Alphonse. That is fine with me. I mean, I stole Alphonse from... I mean, Alphonse Elric was a friend's inspiration for a name. And I was like, oh, I'll use that name. How does working with other YouTubers feel? Do you get excited when it happens? I'm mostly nervous because of trauma. That's not entirely true. A lot of the times it's very professional, and then I'm gone. You know, like if I need to get somebody my lines, I get them my lines and we're good. There's not a whole lot of like there's not a whole lot of buddy behind the scenes. I will say that I do want, so when Shattered's coming and Echoes is coming, I want to have people on stream. I want to have fun with folks. I want to, you know, do shit with them to not only raise awareness and hype, but you know, to build camaraderie, which I've been really hesitant to do because last time I built camaraderie with internet people in my content space, it like fucking exploded in my face. So I had a really bad time because I was so emotionally invested in some stuff that was going on with Bittersweet Chapter 3, and like it fucked up how I felt about my work. And that is like, I take that so personally. So I've been hesitant, but obviously Stephanie Swan Quills as Trish, people seemed very excited to hear her voice and that she was British. I knew that was gonna be, her voice. I obviously I had her do a line read, but when I made the decision, like, okay, Trish is gonna be a character. You guys might remember it was a stream probably sometime last year, maybe even longer than that. But I ran a poll like, hey, how would you feel if Trish like became an actual character, or do you like her being an implied character? But it's pretty unanimous. People were down to have her be a character, and it helps the content so much. Like having someone that can interact with Rook and give Rook that additional perspective of Auron and have someone to talk to and stuff. It's gonna be great. I will say writing her has been a lot of fun. Writing her. Somebody was gonna make a joke. Writing her character has been a lot of fun, and I'm still getting the hang of it, you know. But I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling really good about stuff. And yes, Steph is an absolute pro and excellent voice actress. Yeah, I think anytime you can get talented people to be a part of your thing, you should do it. And let's be real, like there's too much me. We gotta get some more other voices going on. Let's see. Erica asked, I might be asking a lot of questions, which is absolutely okay, because I'm still new. Well, I'm happy to answer questions for new people. Was Alphonse the first character you made for your channel when you were starting your channel? So no, the deep lore is that I did a lot of fandom characters before making an original character. He was my first original character that I made for content, though. And heavily drawn upon my Guzma voice, because Guzma was a very popular character of mine and people liked the voice. So I was like, oh, what if I did a little bit more of that? And yeah, he was inspired by Stardew Valley because I had a hair mod and he had kind of an undercut and I gave him pink hair, and he had like a two-tone, like purple and pink sweater and some white jeans and some sneakers. And I was like, huh, what if? What if? So yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Sunny Heart says, inspired you to make these videos. I'm assuming you mean what inspired you to make these videos. I don't know. I started doing voice stuff. People wanted to pay me and I turned it into a job. And I love, in the broader sense, I love storytelling, and this has become my avenue for doing that. So that's what really keeps me going. Let's see. The Rat King says, from the Auron Shattered episode, when we see the gun wrapped in ivy, one thought popped in my head that Auron disrupted the timeline when he shot his stepfather. We see the same type of glitchers in Bittersweet. Maybe he was never supposed to be the CEO of the company. I've seen a lot of theories. I would not say that it is entirely the same. Similar. Trying to think what I can say. I will say this. I think as a storytelling tool, timeline fuckery sucks. And I know that I've done it, but I would not want to continue doing it. I don't feel that timelines or assorted fuckery is intuitive to what the way that we are conveying those stories. People can hardly even grasp that we went back a few hours the first time. So theories are good though. Like in general, I try not to, I mean, if I had read this ahead, I probably wouldn't have even read this one, just because I don't like being like, no. Because people need to have their theories. And you're not off. in some regards, you're not off, I would say. Taro asks, out of all of the Yuri boys, who's most likely to survive a zombie apocalypse? So depending on your what's the word I'm looking for? Depending on how you're like ranking things, because Seth has great like survival skills, an understanding of like nature, and he's built like that. But then you have Auron, who has access to ridiculous resources. And I want to say like the resources probably trump the survival ability. If you could master any musical instrument instantly, what would you pick? It would be a fucking violin. Can I tell you guys a story? Just in case you want to know what my fucking childhood was like. I wanted to learn violin when I was like 11 years old. My father says, no, you should learn a fucking saxophone because that's a pussy getting instrument. To a 12-year-old. And he's not wrong, because ironically, in adulthood, I love me a sexy saxophone. But goddamn, I could have learned the violin. Nah, I don't have enough time in the day. I don't have enough time in the day. Listen, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let it go. I promise you I could get ass with a violin too. I promise you. And that's what I should have told the old man. If I had any charisma when I was fucking 11 years old, I would have told him that. And he would have been like, goddamn, kid, chip off the old block, slap me on the fucking shoulder and got me a violin. Anywho. Fuck. But I am so like not musically inclined. It's a lot. So Local Disaster 007 asks, will we see a return of Guzma or Charlie soon? Charlie is much more likely. I may get, I might get the itch for some Guzma again, just whenever, but it's not something I would consider super likely. Do you plan on taking auditions for character voices? Yeah. I have a couple of people specifically I want to reach out to. If I run into a point where I think what's more likely is like having some background stuff, having some minor characters that I need filled. I have a specific friend who I know I would like to have ironically voice a couple of dads. There's a couple of father figures that I think he would nail. So that's who I'll be going to for that. Is that a spoiler? Oh. Well. There you go. A couple as in a couple. I think. I'm pretty sure a couple as in a couple. Unless suddenly I decide someone else needs to be a father. But a couple as in a couple. Do the characters have a decided age? If so, what are they? No, they don't. They super don't. And I think I went into a rant about that on Tumblr. No specific age. Question about the boys' favorite kind of food. Man, I be forgetting. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Oh, a couple as in a couple as in a few, or a couple as in a couple. Ha. Dusty, I wouldn't have figured that out if you hadn't said that. They are not a couple of dads. Unless. No, they're not. They're not, because one is for Echoes and one is for Bittersweet. What's your favorite anime? Man, I have the hardest time trying to answer this question. Let's go with, I'm going to just spin a wheel in my head. And today we're going to land on Purple Echo is, well, I don't think he's formally on the list, but he needs to be added to the list of designs that are happening during this design period. I know he already has one, but I want to give him a fresh coat of paint. Fresh coat of paint. Favorite anime. Let's go with Cowboy Bebop. It's a very choice. No, my list goes like, list being like tier of top tier. You know, we've got Cowboy Bebop, we've got Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, we've got Steins Gate. There's always one I forget, and I think it is Steins Gate that I always forget, but now I'm forgetting another one. Yeah, there's a few up there. Would Auron wear Jackie's Dear OC cereal brand merch like slippers and t-shirts if they were a gift? Yeah. Jackie has been super active on Tumblr, for person who is asking. I can link her Tumblr. I always fuck up which. Yeah, there we go. This one. Link. Can we not just? Oh, there we go. Here you go. Him and some Dearly's stuff would be pretty fun. actually. Don't give her any ideas. Because she will fucking do it. Let's see. Simp Exposer. What a fucking username. Simp Exposer asks, will Auron's mom ever be shown? If so, will she be hot like Seth's mom? I think that's like a trick question. I feel like any character Jackie cooks up is going to be hot in some form or fashion. I'm not in a rush to do it. I'm not in a rush. And one of the reasons why I've sort of, one, we already have Trish, and Trish serving as the surrogate, like she knew him when he was a kid, da 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 da, for the perspective. Like Trish is covering a lot of those bases, but I think his mom is really busy. If I choose her job, I mean, she's really busy. Regardless of what I choose for her job to actually be, she's really busy. And there's enough in the content right now that you might be able to surmise what she might be doing. But I don't know if that's what I'm going to commit to. Playing Pokemon right now. What's your favorite evolution? You said Eevee Evolution, and I have not seen Eevee Evolution in a long time. But to be fair, I never know how to spell evolution either. My favorite Eevee Evolution. I mean, this is the part where you guys find out that I'm a hater. It's hard for me to pick because I don't love Eevee a lot, or any of the evolutions. Like, they're neat. I just don't, they're not neat enough. I'm telling you, if they ever cook with a ghost type Eevee, I'm there. That's all they need to do. Solve that problem. Because my issue is, like, the first 3 evolutions are like so basic. Don't love them. Don't love them at all. But I almost wish they had kept them that kind of way, because then we get way off course. I mean, I like Umbreon. I like Umbreon. And I like Sylveon. But Sylveon is almost too different. Does that make sense? Like, Sylveon clearly was loved more as a child than all of the other Eevees. And I think it shows. Vaporeon is cool. And also, never tell Veppy that I don't love Vaporeon. Flareon's not bad. I don't know. I think I'm just a hater. I think I just don't like evolutions. Is kind of my... I think that's what the issue is. I think I just don't like evolutions that much. Leafeon's okay too. You know, okay. They're not bad. I just don't... Jackie's a Flareon hater? It's a fire cat dog. I don't know. And hold on. I also gotta say, like, I don't... There's a lot of Pokemon I don't like. We should throw that out there too. Like, I hate a lot of them. So, like, to be fair, the evolutions are like a B plus on my scale. They're like a B to B plus, maybe a C or 2. How many Pokemon do you like? I like a lot of them, but I also don't like a lot of them. My favorite is, I mean, it's like a several way tie where it's like, I don't know, Gengar, Mimikyu. Who else is on my tattoo? Chandelure, that whole one. Miss Magius is great. Yeah, there's a bunch. Oh, let's see. Sunlight asks, hey, do you have any plans for summer-themed audio? And how far out in advance do you plan for Halloween? Thank you for all the work you do, and I hope you have a good weekend. Or had a good weekend. Thank you. So, I need to plan out way fucking far in advance for Halloween. Last year, I think we were almost 2 months planned out, I want to say. So, close. Pokemon Smash or Pass when? I feel like Alphonse doing a Smash or Pass for Pokemon would be hilarious. We have a couple of spring audios that need to get done. Which I know, like, it is basically summer for a lot of folks. But we're just gonna pretend... When does summer officially start? Do we know that? Usually, like, for, like, in spirit, it's usually, like, Memorial Day here. Memorial Day? 22nd of June? Oh, yeah! Oh, shit. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're super good. Alright. Nah, it's spring. It's spring as fuck. Even though it's basically summer. Yeah, got a few spring things. There's some very cozy... Fin season's gonna hit right. I think the next birthday we have is Lucian, I believe. I'm trying to stay on top of that. Yes. Anywho, in terms of like summer specifically, hold on, I just fucking realized something. Yo. All right, we'll just there is a series coming that is definitely about like the listener is a college transfer, and like people are finishing finals right now. So it's gonna be like, obviously, like people find audios all the time and it doesn't matter that much, but like some people are so like, someone's gonna make some comments, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people go to college year round, but it's just funny. Writer in Fandom World asked, does Auron have a hidden corner of his place / his office just for the listener to chill out, so that they're technically still spending time / working together, but without being super close 24/7? Oh, that makes sense. It was a really long day at work. Yeah. Probably not at his place yet. Also, his office space at his penthouse is occupied presently. So there definitely probably isn't a whole lot of room there. In the office, he definitely... Don't quote me on any of this. He's probably got a couch. And if he doesn't, we might make it so that he has a couch. Because I'm doing something. Spoilers. Let's see. Izu says, hi, it's morning here in Asia. My question is, have you visited any Asian country? If so, which one? I have not. But I really super duper want to go to Japan. That is the most likely one to happen. Yeah. That would be the one off the top of my head. Not that I wouldn't go to any other. I mean, I'm down. I'm hoping that in the next couple years, I can do some traveling. That would be fun. Lady Kai says, I'm a blind fan of ASMR in general, but specifically you. I wanted to let you know that Diesel Dreamer introduced me to your ASMRs, and I've been obsessed ever since. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Aw, thank you. That's dope. No, I'm super flattered. I appreciate it. There's a lot of great in the ASMR roleplay space. There's a lot of cool options. Everyone has their own different kind of approach. Skunk Ox. Momiji and Haru, but no Kyo. Is this what is that? What is that anime? Is that Fruits Basket? I feel like that's Fruits Basket because someone else asked me if the names were Fruits Basket. No, to be fair, I only watched a couple episodes of the remake. Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. It never hit me during its era, you know. Ocean asked who would win in a fight, Seth or Auron. I've been getting a lot of these. I've been getting a lot of these questions lately. Everyone wants them to fight to the death, I guess. That I'd say Auron takes it. Seth is good, but he's more, I don't know. Seth, it doesn't have as much finesse as like Alphonse would. And I think Auron and Alphonse would probably be the closest if it was like a fist fight. Funny you mentioned putting them in the Hunger Games because we did a whole presentation that then got uploaded as a video, I believe, of the boys doing Squid Game. Where are we? Anything about the next sleep aid audio? I just have to choose. It'll probably be Auron, and then I am talking with Jackie about making sure we do have a Finn sleep aid art to use, because I definitely just forgot about putting Finn on the list. My bad. And Auron has two, so he has one that's gonna be like a keyboard ASMR style one where he's working and listener has taken a little nap. And then I'm gonna use the first shot from the new episode as the art for a Auron sleep aid because it's perfect. Z asks, what's your fave Pocky flavor? And we'll pretend this isn't a which boy is your fave boy question. So if I was going off of the 8 Pocky flavors that I am aware of, my favorite is Red Velvet. Unless we're asking the real question of which Pocky is my favorite Pocky. In which case, strawberry. Like, it's just strawberry. Strawberry Pocky's so good. Like, it's just... That's it for me. That's all I need. Are we gonna get any... Alex W. with the $2 saying, maybe I do need to start paying you God wages. No God wages. Let's see what else we got. Which of the boys do you think would be most into wall sits? Wall sits. Wall sits. The exercise? Thinking about a lot of ass and thighs right now. I mean, Auron's really fit, I think. Seth too. Seth and Auron are up there. I don't, and for the record, like, I don't include Lucian in a lot of these because, like, he's a big ass buff demon. Like, he'd be great. Just for Z, I just want you to know. I just want you to know that the opening shots of the next Bittersweet, because I haven't even written this down, I just know because that's how a lot of my stuff works. You will be so specifically targeted. Like, I just want you guys know, like, the 80s, early 90s, like, cut off shirt, like the crop, like the sleeveless crop, the like hoochie daddy shorts, and Seth. Like, it's just funny that that's a thing, and it's hilarious. Also, anyone who's been like, there are some folks who have been, I've seen a few folks who are like, hey, like Seth, but he boxes. And I just want you to know that I have wanted to put him in hand wraps for so long. And that is also going to be my excuse to put him in those. So it'll be great. Boxing Seth makes me crazy. There's gonna be good food. There's gonna be really good food. And then we'll be crying, but there will be really good food. The meal will be great. It's gonna be great. Seth Alphon's boxing rival AU. Oh my god. Just them, like them all busted up. Hold on, hear me out. Challengers, but make it boxing? Goodness. Anywho. It'll be great. Creed but gay? Literally Creed 3! literally Creed 3. Favorite childhood memory? If you don't have one, then pretend this question was something funny. I have a lot of them. Let me rummage around in my brain. The time I was in Amsterdam. So I'm sorry, RIP to my dad, but like he's getting so slandered tonight. So when we left Ireland, we went to a travel agency because my dad, like, we did not have a great time in Ireland. So it was like, hey, we're gonna stop somewhere before we get back to the States in Europe, and we're going to, you know, have a proper vacation because we haven't been able to really do anything since we've been here for 9 months. And then they start telling my dad prices. They're like, well, there's France, there's Italy. And my dad's like, no, hell no. And then finally they're like, well, there's Amsterdam. And they don't tell my dad anything about Amsterdam. Which, for those of you who don't know, like, weed's legal, prostitution's a thing. It was a lot. It was a lot going on. And so we go, and I got a like a travel pamphlet. And in the travel pamphlet, there's like the mayor smoking the biggest blunt and the marble penis fountain in the red light district. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. And like, I was a very shy kid, so like I didn't know how to tell them, like, hey, this is gonna be happening while we're there. And so I didn't say anything. And we like go about doing a few things, and we go to the Hard Rock Cafe. And yes, Amsterdam's gorgeous. Like, the story is a very positive one. I love Amsterdam very much. And my dad's like, I just saw a guy smoking a joint on the like dock outside, because Amsterdam has the canals and shit that you can ride a little boat through and whatnot. So right outside of the window is a little dock pier situation, and there's a guy smoking a joint. My dad's like, that's crazy. He was just out there smoking. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's so weird. Why would he be doing that? Oh shit. And the places where you buy the weed are called coffee shops. And my dad, big coffee guy, is like, oh my god, there's this. And I knew the place. We were walking past a place called, I believe it was like Bulldogs or something. And I know it's a very popular coffee shop And he's like, oh, let's go get some coffee. And I'm like, all right, hey, I got to tell you something. No, hold on. 12-year-old me is like, hey, they don't have coffee. They don't have coffee there. And my dad's like, what do you mean they don't have coffee? It's a coffee shop. And I'm like, I pull up the folded, clearly a day or two old pamphlet out of my pocket and hand it to my dad. And he's like, oh my God, I'll be right back. This turns into Disney World for this man. He is now in Charlie's Chocolate Factory for adult pleasures. And I am a 12-year-old boy. So we were supposed to be there for a week. My dad extended the stay. And I spent most of the time alone wandering the streets of Amsterdam. The only things I remember are going to the Van Gogh Museum, going to there was another like general museum that had like real Rembrandts and shit in it. It was great. And I remember we were getting this German chocolate soft serve ice cream, these cones. It was amazing. And we did that. That's all I remember us doing as a family for 2 weeks. So I had my little Walkman, and I go to the record store, and I get 2 CDs. I get, I believe it was Nerd's first album, and I got Evanescence's first album. I think it was their first. It's the first one that popped off. And I just remember walking around this park. So many beautiful people in Amsterdam. So I'm like, I'm a young man. I had just freshly turned 13. And lots of beautiful people. And I'm just chilling, walking around, people watching, and incredibly dangerous. Do never let your fucking kid wander the streets alone. I didn't have a cell phone, by the way. This is pre-cell phones. I saw one little kid with a cell phone in my life before that point. Anywho. Fuck. It was wild. Anywho, I lived. It was great. Oh, my childhood house video. That's funny. So in that vlog, that's the house that I moved into right after that, actually, because that was where my mom stayed. And I was like, hey, I want to live with mom. So I live with mom. Yeah, I've tried to flirt with a stranger for the first time in Amsterdam. I like amazing booty on this girl. Not a girl, by the way. Grown-ass woman I tried to flirt with, by the way. Grown-ass woman. I'm 13 and could maybe pass for 15. And I just, like, stammered some sort of horrible, like... I don't remember exactly what I said, but I described it as, wow, so they got you out here working today, huh? She was working at a like a convenience store, and she just like laughed and was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I guess so. It was like, how old are you? Like, she was so sweet. She was so nice. And like, when I tell you, I tried. She was really sweet. And I think I just bought a Coke. And I left. I tried. It was really bad, though. It was like, I'm pretty sure like my face was red and I was stammering. I was just like, everybody else is getting ass here. Why ain't I? Probably because you're a fucking 13-year-old American, Yuri. Anywho, childhood memories. What else do we got? Let me try to... Bear in mind, especially the, like, that particular era of being an American in Europe, like, we were not popular. Like, people thought we were dumb and rude and stuck up, and it was not great. It was not great. But no one was ever fucked up to me. It's the adults that they had beef with. And rightfully so. Like, we were not great. They still do. I'm sure they do. Yeah. I don't think that has changed. Certainly not. Man, traveling Europe when, like, Obama was president would have been great, I think. That probably would have been the time, because we had, like, someone intelligent running the country. I feel like we're probably just fucked now. Like, everyone's opinion of us has got to be, like, we're a bunch of big dumb dipshits. And they're not wrong, really. They're not actually wrong. But, like, I don't claim them. Please. Oh my god, there's a lot of questions. We didn't go anywhere else in Europe. It was Ireland and Amsterdam. I wish we could have. My dad was working like 70 hours a week, and like my stepmom couldn't drive, and it was rough. It was rough. So we didn't go out much. Oh, let's see. There's a lot of questions. I'm gonna start going faster. Excuse me. Do we get to see art of Trish since her voice has been linked? Leaked. I would say the odds are very high. When are we going to romance Faust? Good question. I've been thinking about Faust a lot, is what I will say. Is Cardlin coming back? There might be some bits he could do. It all depends. I don't know if he'd want to be back. So, like, I don't know. Silva Froggy says, do you like receiving fan art and or seeing art of your voice with people's listeners? If you do like fan art, then is it okay to send it to you anywhere? I'm not brave enough to post anything on Twitter. I do love seeing fan art. I don't have a place exactly where you could just send it to me. Tumblr's a good place. If you don't like Twitter, like, posting your stuff on Tumblr has been pretty okay. First of her name says, what's your favorite part and least favorite part about doing dual audios? Like Yuri and Victor, Alan, Seth, Auron and Faust. I'm a lot more competent than I was before. But like, any time that voices that are too similar might be together, it's like, oh, that's not great. So, you know, I'm hesitant in scenarios like that. But if there's like an accent or some sort of significant sounding difference between them, then I'm way more, it's fine, really. The reason I disliked it back in the day was like, I didn't have the confidence to do it. So my favorite part is probably like, I feel like my dialogue between two characters is pretty okay. Especially considering that like most of what I've done has been to like a silent implied voice. So yeah, I like my dialogue. I like being able to write that way. It makes writing a lot easier. Holy shit, life is so much easier when you have multiple characters to write for. It is it's very nice. So does your shop ship to the Philippines? I don't see our currency as an option. It should. I'm not sure. I think they might have to just do a currency conversion. I'm not actually sure. But it should. I don't believe it's on a restricted thing. Warrior of Fire asks, you say you don't have any favorites among your own characters. How about any characters you voice for other ASMR channels? I mean, all there is Hip Switch, right? No, I've done, God damn it. I had his name and I lost it. For Steph, I've done, God damn it. I've forgotten his name. And the Jersey one. Yes. Okay, so there's a few. I don't remember a lot of names. I don't know. I mean, I'm biased for Hip Switch because Hip Switch is based off of Echo, who's my robot boy. So obviously, like, I like Hip Switch. But not, I mean, that's a fickle reason for him to be a fave. I loved when I was doing the rats for Escaped. I loved my role there. Like, that was, I got to be a little more unhinged with that specific voice. I enjoyed it. Practical Zero asks, so which Finn is the real one? Honestly, it's been a while since I've engaged in Phineas content, unless all of them are technically the real one. All of them are technically the real one. It'll make sense. It'll make sense sooner rather than later. I would say Source Finn, the Finn that will be in Echoes of Everlast, is the most Finn. How about that? That is the most Finn. That is the most Finn. Navi asks, will we be getting any in-character streams in the near future? Yes. VTuber Finn is coming, and that will be in character, obviously. And I wanted to do a test stream with Alphonse sometime soon. We had it scheduled a few times, and it just didn't happen because something was going on. But yes, character stream soon. Hanako says, if you looked in the comments of Alan Seth Sleep Aid, a metric buttload of people put in their own headcanons. Are you gonna make any of them real? No. I mean, I see the comments, but like, I don't know. I try to not. The thought of someone thinking I made their headcanon real on purpose makes me feel gross. I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm doing it, you know? So I try not to like get too into the weeds there, you know? There's a lot of good headcanons, and some of them may end up being right or real, but like it's not specifically for that purpose. Ryder in Fandom World asks, Mr. Voice, is there any chance we get more MILF DILF parents of the boys, Trish included, or any chance to get DILF versions of some of the other boys? I'm not rushing to go do DILF stuff just because like the DILFified boys are great and a lot of fun. I love them. But it's also like, am I going to spend time and resources to make art for and then make content of something that I'll use once or twice and then move on? So, you know, that's the thing. Like, I got no beef with the DILFs. I like them too. That's why they exist. But, you know. Auron calling himself daddy when, asks Eden. There will probably be some there will probably be some spice that involves a little bit of that. I don't want to put it in his regular repertoire, if you will. But you know, for the folks who show up for the folks who show up for that sort of thing, there will be some options. DILF Seth thigh tattoo, right? Okay, slay, thank you. From Z. Oh. I do like a good thigh tattoo on a man. I do like a good thigh tattoo on a man. Lava Lamp Drinker asks, I have no idea if this has been asked before, but like, what's Faust's deal? Are the parallels to Dr. Faustus just an Easter egg, or could it be plot relevant? Concerned for him. A little column A, a little column B. Little column A, little column B. Eden again asks, is Mummy Auron MILF material? Also, Trish X Mommy Auron? I mean, she's gotta be, right? She's gotta be hot. Probably really hot. And also, I've wondered, like, what if Trish and Mama Auron were like, you can't see it, but I've made 2 scissors with my hands and have done that. Hold on, wait a minute. No. Runehelm said Trish having a crush on Mama Auron. Trish having a crush on Mama Auron and it being unrequited because she's oblivious and has been oblivious for literally like 4 decades? to the point where she was a nanny in the house of the man that she married? Alex with another $2 with their 20th super chat on a live stream saying, Daddy Auron, God wages Yuri. This is a threat. Thank you. Yearning Trish is madness. Oh, man. Oh, that makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, man. No. Auron can't know. Because the obliviousness was passed down. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh. Anywho. Well. There's so much I want to say and I can't even say now. There's so much I want to say. We got to move on. Eve asked, do you headcanon, or I guess just canon since you're their creator, any of the Yuri boys to be neurodivergent? I hadn't really thought about it, but I'm sure I've written myself into them. So I'm sure that some probably are more prone to others. More prone than others, rather. But not on purpose. Even though, like, now I know for sure I've had ADHD for a long time. Before that, I would have felt weird if I didn't have, like, a diagnosis or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, like, really on purpose write this character this way because it's neat. You know, like, for me as a creative, like, there's gotta be a purpose beyond, like, oh, isn't that quirky? You know, like, don't. That doesn't feel good to me, you know? Like, there has to be some sort of, like, it's not a, like, mental illness as a design choice feels disgusting, you know? So, like, I wouldn't have done that on purpose. Unless there was some sort of, like, hey, I want to tell this specific story for this specific reason type of thing. But that being said, like, you can see a lot going on, and a lot of it's thanks to the way that I write these characters a certain type of way. Do you know when the next Bastards and Zombies episode will come out? I love Hip Switch. Well, one, thank you for supporting Good Boy Audio's series. And I believe it just got scheduled and should be in 3 days. 3 days, I believe it is. So soon. Would you rather have unlimited bacon and no video games, or unlimited bacon but no games? No. Unlimited games but no bacon. No bacon. It's easy. No bacon. Like, I need games. If I don't have games, it's over. Is Charlie's hair greasy or soft? Soft. But it could be. Like, well, alright. He's a little greasy. He's probably less greasy these days. But, like, let's be real. He was, like, living in clubhouses and shitty apartments with man-shaped stains on the floor and all that. Like, he is a little greasy. But he cleans up real nice. He cleans up real nice. Let's see. Lizzie asked, when's Faust coming back? Probably sometime soon-ish. I have been thinking a lot about Faust series. I'll put it that way. Like, I've been thinking about what happens next and next and next and how it happens. Because, like, obviously I put a pin in it because I needed to put some other things together. But now we're about right for things to progress and to get him places. So, Mochi Animations asks, will Faust be a part of Shattered? I don't know. I have been thinking heavily about it. I've been thinking about it. I will say this. At inception, I did not consider putting him in Shattered. But a lot has changed since that first conception. But also, like, now it kind of boils down to how much or how little, kind of some other surrounding factors. So I don't know. Another question about the P.O. Box. I have to figure out what's wrong with my P.O. Box. I have to go, like, fiddle with it. So I don't want to give out the address when it's fucked up currently. Let's see. What's a video game that you always find yourself coming back to? They Are Billions is probably the most I've ever gone back to play a game that had been out for years that I had already played a bunch of. Because, like, I know if I booted it up right now, I would be able to play for hours and be happy about it. A lot of my favorite games, I could not just go play for hours and be happy about it. A few questions about Auron. There will be more Auron content. There's a lot of that happening. Aw, Sunlight says, me again. I know I said thank you for the hard work, but also thank you for giving me a fandom that I can theorize with. That hasn't happened in a long time. I appreciate it. That giving people stuff that they can brainstorm and think about and have fun theory crafting and shit. That's like the dream, right? Like, I think as a creator, that's a big deal. Auron fan says, I feel like out of all your boys, Auron's a bit more spicy than the rest. Was that a conscious decision or did it just kind of happen? I think it's like the nature of his relationship with Rook is very, I mean, the CEO of a company and a rookie in legal banging and the dynamic there and all that. Like, the spice, his character was intentionally built to play into that trope and accomplish those things, right? So I think it's not so much it happened on purpose, but more so a symptom of the nature of his trope. Let's see what else we got. We're winding towards the end. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna start. I really got to start going faster because I thought I'd end at 8, but we'll knock these out and call it a day. Second of her name, as opposed to the first, asks, how often would you say you spontaneously write, record, and upload audios now? So, the spontaneity is less of a... much less of a thing. But sometimes it isn't. So, like, let's say I know I'm going to go write, and I know I have a few things I need to write, and I sit down, and then I'll write what I'm inspired to write, type of thing. Sometimes that might be a new thing. Sometimes that might be a chunk of the things that I'm working on. Sometimes it might be something completely unrelated. Like, for example, the last time that I sat down to write a thing, I ended up outlining an entire, like, 1 or 2 Faust audios that I might not even be in love with. So, it all kind of depends. Any upcoming design streams? So there's a ton of opportunities where we could, but not a lot of characters that I want to reveal ahead of time. So, maybe not. I don't know. I'd also have to talk to Jackie about it, so. Siberian Gusky asks, oh yeah, what are dearlies? So this happens sometimes. A lot of people think everything I ever put in anything is like meticulously crafted. Like, it all means something, right? And a lot of things do mean something. But I was like, hey, Auron gets a bowl of gets a cereal, and I was like, come up with some silly thing. She's like, hey, I've been really into my deer character. I made dearlies. I'm like, oh, cute, cool. And that's all it is. It's not any particular big thing. It's cute. It's very cute. And sometimes it just needs to be cute. Sweet Kaida asks, I'm such a huge fan of being Puppy Cat. What's your favorite character and why? I absolutely love how you use GIFs of the show on your posts. So Puppy Cat is my favorite character. So much so that with the help of friends who know how to do things, I crafted a foam head of Puppy Cat and cosplayed Puppy Cat. Excuse me. I love Puppy Cat. That's my Sona. Like, if Puppy Cat didn't exist, I would wish to create something very similar to Puppy Cat for myself. Will Faust's story intertwine with Shattered? Feel like I covered that already. But if you missed it, the answer was maybe. Will there be more Bunnyfin content in the upcoming spring stuff? Possibly. I don't have anything ready, but it's an easy win. At the very least, I think doing a compilation of his bunny stuff would be a good idea. Who would win in a verbal fight, Alphonse or Seth? Alphonse would win. You know what? Hold on. Seth would think he lost. Which is to say, Alphonse would talk crazy shit and would roast him to bits. But Seth would find something that hurts Alphonse so deeply that Seth would win and he wouldn't even know. Ethios asked about the sleep aids and wanted to know how it works. Like, do you just record 10 hours of breathing? No, I record chunks in 5+ minute bits, and then I shuffle them into a 1 hour timeline, and then I loop the timeline. Yeah. Kurisu asked, when you come up with characters, do you ever organize details like personality types or music for theme songs to keep you in their mindset or attitude while writing for them? Sometimes yeah, sometimes no. The more familiar I am with a character, the easier it is. Like, I don't have to do it. I do like to set a mood. So like if I have a playlist or just kind of a vibe, go listen to similar things. I've been doing that a lot with Shattered and Echoes. What is the name of the vampire dude? Is he the alter ego of Auron? So I'm assuming you mean the vampire that is Auron, essentially. It's just a AU. So he is just Auron, but it's Auron and he's a vampire and the listener is a vampire hunter. Yeah. Eve asked, do any of the Finns have different full names other than Source Finn, like Finnegan instead of Phineas? No. Is there a reason all Finns are real Finn because they're all just Source Finn? I can't answer any of this. You know I can't answer any of that. But you're also not quite right there either. You said it was coming before. Dilf Alphonse finale when? I don't know. I'm not excited to record it is the issue. Like, I'm just not that into him. I mean, I'm into him, but I'm just not driven to go record it presently. Are you going to show Seth in gym clothes? Yeah. Can Alphonse stomach spicy food? Probably. Let's see. Are you going to have someone create some drama like you did in Bittersweet when they took the gun in Auron's story? And are you planning on going more into the Dreamer and Faust story? See, hold on. This happens sometimes where people misuse terms that they think they understand, and you might not really understand. I would not every listener. Phrasing. So, no one in Everlast, which is where Echoes of Everlast takes place, no one there's a dreamer. Everywhere else, safe to assume, dreamer. But I would not use that term as, like, POV character. I wouldn't do that. Okay. That being said, anywho, drama, spice is what you're asking for. Any chance in Faust's story about them having past drama or stalkers and being afraid to go to conventions alone? I feel like that's pretty well set up. Like, it is confirmed, like, they want a friend because they are worried about going alone, which is pretty dramatic. Yeah, there's some spicy shit going on though. Like, there will be I can't really say, but in something upcoming, a listener is like pretty spicy in that regard. I would say that there's some shit going down. Do the fins play a role? Did you just come up here to sneeze? Oh. Hi, Hawu. Do the fins play a role in any of your bigger storylines? Well, Bittersweet. And I mean, I would say Finn matters in several of them. What are you doing? He's up here. Look at you. My stinky ink. Can I get that boogie? Ew. Nasty. Hex asked who I romanced in Stardew Valley. I romanced... The only romance that I ever even really got that far into was Leah's, which is like the most vanilla. I'm almost embarrassed. Hi, Hawu. Can I pick you up? Can I pick your eyeballs? Come here. Give me your eye boogies. Ew! Nasty. Is it possible that the listeners can meet someday or no? So it's certainly possible. Like, we have listeners in close proximity to each other. So like Rook and so the connection with like Auron, Faust, Auron, Charlie, like they are in the same orbit, you know? So I would not say never, but also bear in mind how fucking complicated that is. Yeah, we're gonna have two people who can't talk meet. Okay. Am I supposed to imply the entire conversation taking place? Like, it would be very challenging. It's something I've considered, but like, it would be very complicated. Let's see. There was some other like point that I had that I was gonna make. Oh yes, people would Hanako, I promise you I can think of ways that it could work, but okay, then we then have to have those characters go and interact with their boy or another character to then confirm what they just talked about. It's a whole mess. People think it sounds fun, and it sounds fun in theory. In practice, it would kind of fucking suck. I think you create way more problems than any sort of... I have already talked about how listeners on Tumblr, someone asked about like how far can people go with listener headcanons, and the big overarching point that I like to make is you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want to do is fine, and it does not concern me. How you like to play with your imagination does not need my approval. That's the big thing. Now, the point of like, there's listeners where some people think it would be cute if their listeners were related or something, which, sure, yes, cool. But if those listeners were to meet, and I just told you that there are very real possibilities that they could cross paths, they're not going to be related. So do not get frustrated with me when you decided I'm going to come up with all these things for these listeners and then they don't reflect reality. Otherwise, I got no problem with that. That's cool. Like, do what you want to do. That's fun. But like, if canon doesn't reflect that, then just understand, like, if you want to play Jenga with pieces you don't know where the pieces actually are, by all means do it, but don't get mad if I go, hey, actually that's not a Jenga piece, and then the tower falls over. That's my only thing, is like, so long as you don't make it my problem, I don't care what you do. You can do whatever you want to do. That don't concern me. I just don't want people to be disappointed if like something doesn't reflect that, you know? And to be fair, a lot of people would have done that when like the possibilities of these things crossing paths, like storylines intertwining in a way like that, a lot of those probably came about before that was ever a possibility. Like, you know. Not Dusty asks, have you ever felt the need to force yourself to do a specific audio or other thing? And how does that color your perception of how that audio performs number-wise, if at all? I am in the position where if there's something I have to force myself to do, I simply wouldn't do it in the first place. It's been a long time since I had a thing that I was like, oh man, I really had to make myself go get this done, and then I posted it and it either did well or didn't do well. Here's a good example. The last time I did an Aizawa audio, and it's been a long time, I thought it was really good, and I was actually kind of excited. And then I posted it, and it didn't really do that great. And I said, you know what? I was right. I should have just not fucking bothered. And then I never recorded another Aizawa audio again. So yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. But there were a lot of factors too, like my exhaustion with the My Hero fandom, me not even really following anything to do with it anymore. So it's like, my heart's really not in it. it's not that like I could drop another banger if I really wanted to. I just don't really want to. It's so much more gratifying to be doing my own thing and doing it with original characters. Like, I definitely love the idea of, like, if I wanted to do some fandom stuff in the future, a good example is like Ghoul from Fallout. If time and effort were not an issue, I would do a couple of Ghoul audios. Fucking cowboy voice, ghoulish man, bad attitude. It'd be great. But like, I don't need to. That was not a good shrug noise. That sounded wild for a shrug. I shrugged too. Yeah. Will there be more Alphonse and Seth Stories videos? Yes. Yes. How do you create your original characters? Did they just randomly pop up in your head and you went for it, or was it a detailed process? It depends sometimes. Sometimes it's just a vibe and then I run with it. Or sometimes there's like a role that needs to be filled. Like, hey, I need a character that impacts characters this way. And then I build from there. Or sometimes it's like, hey, I want one of these, and I go get one. That was Faust at first. I was like, I want a bitchy little twink. And I made one. And then I was like, oh, what if he was Auron's brother? And what if this and that? But then, like, I didn't have a whole lot of ideas for him. So he sat there, and that's why he's had to have like a whole reboot, and it was a whole thing. So it depends. It depends. But most of the time it is randomly popping up into my head. That is usually how it goes. Yeah. All right. I have run overtime. Whew. I am a yapper. Goddamn. Tips for beginner voice actors. That is the last one of the night. Unless, if you have any last minute ones to throw in, especially if it's some juicy like character or plot stuff, hit me with it. I'm feeling giving. So, oh. I just got the funniest fucking picture emoji. Lesbians? I think the highlight of the night is Trish being in Lesbians with Mama Auron. Okay. What got you into voice acting? Do you have any tips for a beginner? I started off wanting to make content for Yuri from Yuri on Ice, and I made a character blog and I made audios, and people were like, hey, I really like those audios. Do you take commissions? And I was like, I could. And then I did that, and then I was like, what if I did another character? And then I did another character, and then I did another character. And then I made a YouTube channel. So that's what got me into it. It was just a hobby that I never wanted to, like, I want to be a voice actor. Never wanted to do that. I hated my voice. But it ended up being a thing. Oh, Eden, you weren't here? Eden, you missed out on the whole thing. Oh my God, Eden. Yeah, so I'm now fairly super duper confident that Trish is in deep unrequited love with her oblivious best friend and has been for like 4+ decades. Mama Auron's completely clueless. And she helped raise her boy. She was the nanny. She had to live in that house. She has to see her son, who I'm pretty sure looks very much like his mother. Oh, I love it. I love it. Unrequited only because, like, she doesn't know. And now it's like, I've been in love for you with decades, and at this point, I'm too scared to ask. So we'll figure that out. But I love it. I love it a lot. So there you go. Any other tips for a beginner? Just have fun. That is always the biggest one. Is like, find something to do. Like, find a place to get started, because you're gonna be bad. You might start off better than most. It would still be bad. So just accept that, like, you're here to just have fun is the primary thing. And then find stuff that makes you want to practice. So for me, like, I was in a fandom and I wanted to contribute to that fandom somehow, and I did so with my voice. So that's always a great... I don't understand why more people don't do character ASMR roleplay. It's a huge thing, and like there's people who are wildly successful doing it. But goddamn, there's room for more. There's room for so much more, and everyone would rather not do that, I guess. Starlight, I don't know how to break this to you. I do not fucking know the meme you're referencing, and that is why I have not answered the question. So, I don't know what Trisha's full name is. Maybe it's Patricia. Maybe it's not. I didn't really think about it that hard, because I just decided his secretary's name was Trish because it sounded like a good secretary name 4 years ago. I also didn't fuck with Vine that much. Like, there's a bunch of memes I referenced and I don't even know their origin. So, yeah. What else do we got? Will there be any more alt animal versions of the boys similar to Bunnyfin? I don't know. See, I don't even know that. Now that I've had the meme explained to me, I still don't recognize that one. So, there you go. Any more animal versions of boys similar to Bunnyfin? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. The bunny thing... Look, you guys want some inside baseball? The bunny thing works because bunnies fuck, y'all. That's why it works. Like, we can have maybe... Oh shit, a deer boy who goes into a rut? Hold on now. I've been wanting to give a boy antlers. Damn. Oh yeah, of course Jackie's into that. The hair's gotta be long, right? I love... Have you guys seen... We haven't even talked about Hades 2. Have y'all seen that man? Oh my goodness. All right, that's all. We gotta... I'm finishing the questions. Hopeful Goddess says, I'm trying to work on a Jack script with a Murph. Fucking holy shit. I'm trying to work on a Jack script with a merfolk listener. Whoo-wee. Saving his butt from a siren. Would that hit for Halloween or not? Maybe, and if you really want to get to know Jack, probably just hang out for a little bit longer and you'll have a lot to work with. Any writing tips? Oh God. Oh, okay. The context helps. You're in writer's block, out of perfectionism. Get over it. Get over it. It's gonna suck. Write it anyways. Get over it. The moment you get over it, life gets so much easier. Stop putting rules on yourself. Just go. The thing that you want to go write, stop edging. Just go write it. Just go write it. It's right there. You want to write it? Oh no, I have to do this first. Oh no, that's not chronological. Don't care. Go write it. There's one specific scene I'm really excited about, but how do we get there? Don't care. Go write it. It fixes everything. Just go write it. Just go do it. It's bad. Well, fuck it. Try again. Do something else. It wasn't as good as you thought it'd be. All right. Go to the drawing board. Just do it. It's fine. It'll be okay. If perfectionism is a horrible imperfection, if the judgment you're putting on yourself is keeping you from doing it, that's not perfectionism then. That's the antithesis. You're actively just like tying yourself to an anchor and throwing yourself into a lake. Like, don't do that. There's room for perfectionism after you've written it. You can fix it later. You can fix it later. You have to get it out of you first, or otherwise you're not even doing it. So there's the moment you can, and I'm saying that very matter-of-factly because I have to do this to myself a lot. But like the moment you can beat yourself out of that way of thinking and shift it to like, there's room for me to make it perfect after it's out of my head. That's the key. Put it on paper, fix it later. Because what if this idea sucks anyways? And you think it's good until you actually get to see it. Well, then you're just like hanging out with your imagination and not creating anything. And then it turns out the thing you created isn't even that good and it needs to be fixed. So convince yourself to go do it. And the best advice is like, if there's a specific part you want to write, don't force yourself to be like, oh, I have to get there chronologically or whatever. Just go do it. Go do it, because that whole scene can inform what comes before it, what comes after it. It can help with everything. So just do it. Do what you want to do. You'll feel good about doing it, and the rest will get easier. The next question was, how do you handle burnout, stress, writer's block, or anything like that? I feel like we probably covered a lot of that. It never hurts to say fuck all of this and go do something else. It's not a bad thing to have a new idea or have a new inspiration, because if it gets the gears greased and gets you creating, it's helpful to the other thing too, I promise. And you could just fall in love with another thing and you can create that instead. Like, you are not beholden to your thing. Unless you're on a deadline and you have to write it a specific way, then, well, you're fucked, I guess. I guess you're just fucked. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Suffer is basically how I figured it out. How did Auron become Auron? He's my favorite. You don't know how much excitement I get when you keep making audios of him. I feel like that's probably something we're going to cover. I can tell you, I have known about the events that lead up to the flashback we have in the recent episode. I have known about that since Faust became Auron's brother in my head. I've known about it. It's pretty central to everything. why he did that, why his relationship with Faust is the way it is. All of that is core, like, foundational pieces of what we're looking at right now. So, like, that's always a cool thing. Like, the stuff you're seeing now, the Auron who's on screen today is the Auron who I thought of back, like, this behavior and these relationships are because of a thing that happened that you only just got to find out happened, etc. So, like, it's cool to see people get a crumb of something that I thought of basically day one, because it was like, I knew he inherited the company from the beginning. Yeah, I feel like it's safe to say Body is stepfather. I think that's safe to say. That's not even, it's not a reach. It would be horribly ironic if the conveniently missing stepfather who he inherited the company from wasn't the one that he also happened to shoot right around the time, you know. Does Faust know Auron did the thing to his dad? We don't know. I know, but we don't know. I've definitely thought about how that whole situation played out. There was a version where, like, also, I tweeted that episode was specifically for all the stepfathers I never got to shoot. So if you didn't figure that out from that as well, then, you know. There was a version in my head where there were more flashback scenes. And just because they didn't end up in this episode doesn't mean they won't end up in future things. Anywho, Christmas sucks for Auron. How do you plan your videos? Like, do you always change your OC's story? I don't know what you mean by that. How do you plan your videos? It depends. There's some that are like, this is just a one-shot little idea, and I like the idea and I make it. Or then there's the big plot things, and that is a lot more intricate. All right, last one of the night. Dork asks, I want to know your opinion on fan art / animations posted using your characters with credit, of course. I love fan art. I love fan animations. I love it all. You are welcome to do the thing. I am not certainly not mad at that. That's pretty fucking cool, actually. So, okay, my voice is giving out. I'm ready to chill. Thank you all for hanging out. Is there, I'm thinking of if there's some sort of tidbit I could give you. Some sort of tidbit I could give you. Something fun. You already got a little bit of, like, you got a Bittersweet spoiler. You got, there's two dads spoiler. You got the one of the characters coming is reminiscent of an old friend spoiler. Huh. Maybe that's it. I don't think I've got anything else. There's a character that I'm thinking about. Ah. Oh, what have I done? Oh, Jesus. Okay, I fixed it. There's a character I'm thinking about making a character who has been referenced. That's so... I don't even think I worded that right. Yeah, I guess that's it. There's a lot of, I mean, to be fair, there's a million characters in the works right now. Big Boy OC is great. Big Boy OC is great. Yep. All right, that's it. I've already said too much. Thank you all for hanging out. I had a lot of fun. The next time I stream should be an Alphonse thing, probably. And it'll probably be a multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube, because I need to try and see how that works. Good night, everybody.